I want to talk about this concept that we are God, especially within the spiritual or conscious community. I don't agree. I feel that we are co-creators. I feel that we are God's dream. See, God is everything. God is infinity, sorry. And the concept of infinity, when I think about mathematics, the concept of infinity is truly beyond the human mind. What I mean by that, it's very difficult for humans to grasp what infinity truly is, because you can have multiple things exist simultaneously when it comes to infinity. An example I can give you is there are an infinite set of numbers in between the number 1 and 2, but those are not all of the numbers. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's an aspect of God that I feel like we're missing, because number one, everything physical does not exist. It's an illusion. It's a projection from your nervous system. This is but a dream. We are God's dream. See, in the beginning, God was everything, right? And God wanted to know itself more. It wanted to have an infinite amount of experiences as itself. And truly, there is no such thing as creation. There's only, what is the word I'm trying, not destruction, but a breaking down of something. Because all that there is, all that there ever will be, already exists. Okay? God had to separate itself from itself to know itself. Because how can you know yourself if you are everything? Let that marinate. So with God separating itself from itself, it created this illusion, this physical illusion that's a projection from our nervous system, which I always say the only real thing is how you feel and your perception. That is the only real thing. That's why your dreams, when you sleep, or even your daydreams or your visions, because I have more daydreams and visions as an autistic and ADHD dyslexic individual. Those are more real than this physical existence. This is a video game that we are in, or it's akin or like a video game. I want to slow down because I feel like I forgot a particular concept, and I'm trying to remember, backtrack my thoughts. Yes, the part about infinity with multiple things existing simultaneously or at the same time. So my whole point in mentioning that is, when it comes to the concept of we are God, let's think about an ocean, and let's say symbolically that the ocean represents God, right? You are a cup of that ocean, but you are not the full, entire ocean. Yes, you do possess the same oomph, the same insides, the same, all of that. You have the same energetic frequency as God, yes. But that does not mean that you are God. You are an aspect of God. See, God can exist as an aspect and also as a totality. And that's what it means to have multiple things happen at the same time. God is all things and no things. See, there's a separation within this existence, and God is that separation. God is also the existence. God is also the non-existence. God is all of that. There's no way that we could possibly be God. You did not create your heartbeat. Majority of the time, you're not thinking about breathing. So you're not really controlling your breathing. You can control your breathing, but you're not in control of it all the time. And you did not create your breath. Did you know even your physical body is much more intelligent than you are? Let me give you an example. Let's say you're at a grocery store and you see some cut up pineapples and they look delectable to you, right? Did you know that your body is already creating the exact enzymes that you need to break that pineapple down in your digestive system? The exact unique enzymes, particularly for a pineapple, not for a tomato, not for asparagus, not for a burger, but for that particular pineapple that you're looking at that's 5 feet away from you. That's how intelligent your body is. And you have no idea that that's happening, majority of us. Not only do you know it's not happening, you don't even know how it's happening. And you're certainly not in control of it. Another example, when you get food poisoning, it's your digestive system that is on alert, like, oh my goodness, you ate something that wasn't right. And your body gets to work creating systems, operations, and all type of things that keep you alive. You didn't create that fever that burns off the virus or the whatever so that you can stay alive. You don't even know how to even do that. You're not a part of that process. So how are you God? I just feel like saying that you are God creates this sense of superiority, narcissism, superiority for sure. Because if you are God, then you also have to deal with the responsibilities of God. Do you know that God has to deal with the lowest of the lowest of the lowest energies? The most evil that you can't even fathom. God has to directly deal with all of that. We're not capable of doing that. There's a lot of things that we can't even handle. This is why when you ask questions, life questions, sometimes you'll get bits and pieces of it at certain times because you're not ready for this, you're not ready for that. It'll be too much for you. You might lose your damn mind. So how the hell are you God if you can't even handle what God is supposed to handle? I feel like it's blasphemy to say that you're God. And I only say that because there have been more than one incident, or there's been more than one occasion in my life that Divine Source has saved my life. And I can't take credit for that. There's been so many times where I've written a poem or I've written something And I couldn't even take credit for it. I just allowed my vessel to receive the information. There was no way that I wrote that. It came through me from divine source. I was a vessel for that. I allowed it to come through me. Now, I could have blocked it. I could have resisted. And that's where the co-creation comes in. You co-create with God. You co-create with divine source through how you feel, your nervous system, and your perception of this reality. And thank God for grace, because a lot of people think that your thoughts control everything. That's not 100% true either. I've had multiple suicidal thoughts especially when I was a teenager. I'm still here. And I'm pretty sure a lot of us have had really low vibrational thoughts and they never manifested. How do you explain that? If your thoughts create your reality, how do you explain that? See, we explain things when it comes to God as if it's black and white, but it's all of it. It's everything all at once, at multiple spaces and times. It's beyond our human minds, the concept of what God is, or what divine source is. So to say that you are God, me personally, I'm not feeling it. Now, I am going to say this. I'm definitely not telling you to look on the outside of yourself for any answers. It's all on the inside. See, I'm not here to preach religious doctrine because I don't follow anything religious. I don't follow any doctrine. I don't follow any organization. I don't follow anything. I am of free form. I have been instructed by divine source not to follow anything because I know you can always know and find God without the labels. To me, God is nameless because the moment that you name something, you limit it. And if God is omnipresent, if God is all-knowing, then how can you put God in a box? Doesn't make sense. Just saying.